Who is ready to shut this thing down here today, all the way through tray 35? We have fast-paced guides on tap here today, all of them for you to go from 26 here all the way to tray 35 and close it down. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs. Over millions of you watch this channel every month. Only 5% make sure to sub, so please do that. I really appreciate it, and the likes. Additionally, we got memberships available to you where you can win Bravers cards and coupons, because I don't need enough crystals. They're for you. And with that, thank you as always. If you got a question or comment along the way, let me know. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server. All right, my friends, we got the breakdown of each of these trays for you, quickly, fast, to help you succeed and take this thing down. That happened. This is how, right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this team. Couple things on this. We are building an all-electric team. No, by the way, I do not have the new lemon cookie already to 5-star. If you've seen my videos, I go do the one gotcha, and here it is 5 stars. So this is me taking advantage of that. Same with Stormbringer. Couple things here, though, that are very, very important. These two here are free to play in terms of mileage shop. You can get your Stormbringer right now. We have a guide for that. Additionally, you can get this one pretty quickly when it comes to lemon cookie. Pure vanilla is very, very helpful and pretty key to this as well. We'll talk about that here in a second. Couple things that we're doing. You want massive crit on this. One way to do that is this right here. Crit percent increases for electricity type by 45%. I don't even have this thing at 12. We got it at 7. And we got a lot of crit, and then we can get even more here with our squishy, Sleepy Edge Jelly Watch and the Old Pilgrim Scroll to increase that attack and cool down, or make the cooldown faster. Really, really helping this team. Very, very awesome. Plus, we get that additional electric type damage, crit percents, those kinds of things as well here. And once again, you can see topping most effects and don't matter. So let's go ahead and talk about the gear. In terms of our gear, we're on lots of a crit. I got base stats as attack, and the video I did electric damage. If we can get on that, even better. However, we're going to stay on this because that is what got us by. And then you can see the tarts, same thing. Here we're on attack, damage resist, bypass. I would switch over to something else. Again, electric damage, attack. That's could be definitely upgraded. Area of opportunity. Here, same thing, area of opportunity. We got crit attack, and we got light damage. Because again, when I built this, key is if you can swap that for electricity type damage, it's going to help. Then we got Twizzly Gummy. Twizzly Gummy's got some electric damage, got some attack speed, got some crit there. Much better. And then last but not least, pure vanilla, survivability, and cooldown, which is key for this. Now, we have a lot of options there to make this stuff even better, which is always perfect for all of us, because that helps get through these kinds of things. And me calling out those pieces to help you helps all of us. All right, so there is the team. Now we got Shakaraka. We're actually at 5-star already, or +5 on our Crystal Jam. You can see exactly where we're gonna go with Stormbringer. You do probably want to stay on this. You get more crit on self and every other electricity type, so we're gaining a lot of crit on Stormbringer, particularly when we enter this battle. So that's really, really helpful. If you want to try pure vanillas for some of the HP, damage resist, those kinds of things, you can absolutely do it. It's really going to depend on how your team's set up and those pieces. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to go for the run. If you got a question or comment, though, along the way, please let me know. A couple things here that you're going to notice. I'm going to wait for it, though. And wait for it, wait for it. All right, there's some damage. We're surviving. Now, here it is. We get injury. Because of the injury is one of the major reasons why we're using pure vanilla. It's very, very important here. What you're going to see is it's kind of a battle of attrition between taking down Shakaraka here and surviving against that injury. Here we do have that reduced damage from non-crit, and then we got overcurrent on there as well. Because of this, electricity type damage up, lots of electrifying rock spirit, and lots of other things in terms of crit percent and crit damage. And just like that, my friends, Shakaraka is, yes, very nice. We didn't either. Like I said, we're not using Black Pearl. We got 24% bypass. Why wouldn't we use that? Because we got a better team. That's why. So this is the one we're using here. Love it. Absolutely love it. We got the brand new bunny here. And here is why we're using Marshmallow Bunny. Boom. Sweet bunny, damage resist, bypass. 15%. Yes, that's just about as good as Black Pearl. So on top of that, we got a second healer and we get all this other stuff in there. Are you kidding me? More crit damage, more crit percent, all eggs are stacking, all this other awesomeness. And again, that damage resist bypass, perfect. Now, a couple other things here, like I said, you're going to leverage the zap. The other nice thing here with Stormbringer is with the brand new Stormbringer's Wrath Crystal Jewel here, we get to take advantage of a lot of electric type damage and that flipping into the damage resist bypass, which also is super, super helpful and makes a huge difference right there. That damage resist bypass, 1% per 2% electricity, capped at 15. So you're getting another 15 there. You got 40% on Stormbringer just out of the gate. And just like that. Now, a couple things that's also really awesome about this team is it's fully auto. If I forgot to mention that, it's fully auto. I will say that one more time in a little bit because we're not going to do 3 in a row. Regardless, though, here is the thing. This team deals so much damage. And the key is if you use your PvP, so let's move into the gear here, you will be able to take advantage of that. I actually don't have the damage resist bypass. I got a little bit here and we got more electric damage to help boost that. So we will pre-select this. That is a key to Stormbringer here and lots of crit. Here we got attack and we got damage resist bypass. Yes, look at that. And then here on Twizzly, we got electric and here we can move over to cooldown and damage resist bypass once again to get more and more damage through. Last but not least, here we got cooldown. We got some survivability there. And then here we got lots and lots of buffing and lots of attack. You can check out my gear guides here on the channel. We got a brand new one here for Marshmallow Bunny and a brand new one here for the lovely Stormbringer that you can absolutely take a look at. So those are all the key aspects here. We are still using Herb Cookie here because we do have to remove that Vampiric Bite. Now, I will fully auto it, so you can make sure that you know that you can make that happen with this team. Now, a couple things, if you do wait, you can not go on fully auto, and you can clear the Vampiric auras a little bit better, depending on the setup of your team and potentially some of that RNG. Make sure that you can absolutely, or just know that you can absolutely beat it with this team if you go that manual kind of way and the mode. However, today I will be fully autoing it. All right, so a couple other things. You can always increase your Stormbringer's rally effect or the Crystal Jewel. You can increase better stuff like this. I got lots of crit here again, which is going to help this particular team. So those are some other things that you can think about in terms of swapping out. That is what we're running for treasures there. Let's go for it. I am so excited, if you couldn't tell, because I absolutely love this. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sit back, we're going to relax, and we're going to enjoy the show. All right, so what you're going to see is what's been really beneficial is making sure that I have the double healers. If you don't run the double healer, what's going to happen is most likely you will lose Stormbringer or you will lose the cookie in the front here. Stormbringer has that massive amount to be able to get through on the damage resist bypass. You want to be able to keep this thing alive. A good indicator here, as you can see on the score and the timing, is getting really close to that 50k. Above that minute mark. That's a good indication of your ability to get by, shut this down, and beat it. Now, you can see all of these buffs here with the bunny eggs, the sweet soft bunnies, all the fluff bunnies, all that damage resist bypass going into this team. And look, we're not even worried about the purification there of all the vampire stuff. It's going to happen on its own terms and on its own ground, but just know, like I said before, if you time it a little bit differently, you will be able to get by. So there's an RNG situation where we were not able to put out enough, so we're going to go for it once again. So that is the key on the Vampiric Bite. There's a couple things when you run a crit team, when you run the auto team, it may not get through on the first try just because of some of those things. Like I said, you're going to have a damage resistance bypass situation as well, so you're layering in a ton of random variables. But like I said, the key is being really close to that 50k there with a little bit over a minute left. The very first time that I ran through this, I had about 7-8 seconds left on the clock. This one looks like it's being a little bit better in terms of our damage throughput and output there. All right, there we go. There we go. It's so close. Let's see if this one's going to be just enough. And you can always click in and tap into these things if you need to try and speed it up from that perspective. Take that vampiric bite off just a little bit more. Here we got 25 left. We're sitting a little bit better. 13, 10, 9. And we'll say a couple clicks went enough of a way to help us get back to that 7-second. All right, so there we go. We've proven it. We've showed you our auto mode. We've showed you a team without Black Pearl. There's offers dispelled. The cookies will become injured. This effect will stack if the cookie is already injured. This thing is painful. This also adds a little bit of an RNG to it. So if at first you don't succeed, try again. We also have Birth of a Star. It becomes immune to all debuffs and increases the weirdness level of attacking enemies and starts the battle with, that's right, a hit shield. So lots of things going on. This thing hits really, really hard in some of the projectiles. I've tried a number of teams. A couple key aspects, though, just to know here that I think are very important. Let's go ahead into it. What I found to really help keep my team alive when we think about that defense is that Awakened Holly Berry. Holly Berry paired with the PV has made a huge difference for me. Now, I was able to stabilize a number of teams, just like this one and several others. However, I found that I need at least 3 attackers in order to do that and make sure that I had enough sustaining to do it as well. However, this was the best team that I was able to find. At least through my playtesting and chances and runs. If I get a non-all ancient, non-all legendary, non-all awaken here, I will absolutely make another video so that you can see that. However, this is what I was able to use and find in order to be successful here to take this down. And I do know it is a little hefty from that perspective. However, I was able to beat it with it, and we'll show that here today. Here we got Old Pilgrim Scroll, we got Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch, and Dream Conductor's Whistle. In terms of this team, lots and lots of damage, lots and lots of survivability, and then lots and lots, again, of revival, removing injury, and that defense boosting as well from Holly Berry, which is really important. If you do try and run it without that, generally, you're going to find your team is just going to get smacked down right away out of the gate, and you're going to have to start over. So here again, we got the top bonus effects. Let's go ahead and take a look at the gear. Here we're actually on attack. You could move over to defense if you wanted to. Here we're on lots and lots of attack, crit, and attack speed. Here we're on attack, cooldown, cooldown, survivability, and then we're on attack and attack speed. You could actually move over damage resist if you wanted to on this one, just to be a little bit safer. It's also going to depend on your timing and how your cookie is set up, just like mine from some of those beast kits, okay? So that is the boss. Those are some of the things to keep in mind and the special conditions there, the Doom, Dream of Doom, plus our team, the treasures, the toppings, and the beast kits, and technically the tarts. Now, with that, if you do got a question or comment, though, let me know. We're going to go for a run here. Like I said, if we don't quite succeed here the first time, we'll do it again until we do it, because I've been able to successfully run this multiple times with this team. Again, one of those challenges that you'll find is, depending on what happens with some of that Dream of Doom there, being able to reduce it is huge, like you saw in PV right there. And again, if PV falls asleep, then we're going to have some problems, my friends. It really depends on how quickly we can take Fiery Star's Wrath down. That's a problem. We lost PV. We're still alive, but can he survive? And that is a no. So we'll run this out. Most likely we will not be able to beat it, as you can see, just like that. But we'll try. See if these two can do enough. And you can see that Fiery Star's Wrath. Oh. Boom. Gone. So that is one of the major things about making sure that you can beat it and get by, is that PV does not die and fall asleep, or whatever you want to call it, because that makes the difference. All right, here we go. Come on, PV. You can do it. Keep that off. Keep the dream off. There we go. Generally, if we can get above that halfway mark and keep PV alive here, that is what I found to be very successful to make this thing work. Looks like we're on the right track so far. Here we go. Oh, it's coming, my friends. It's coming. Last 10 million damage. 1 minute left. We can do it. Uh-oh, we lost Hollyberry. Brought Hollyberry back. Can we clench it? And we did. Look at that. So over 50%, probably 50% win rate based off the number of times that I've ran. Glad we could actually show you the fail, also so that you can see one of the key challenges, which is as long as PV doesn't fall asleep and you're running one healer like that, you're going to be okay. You can make it happen. So let's go talk about our team. The first one. This team is an absolute ancient legendary buster. Yes, that's right. I want to show this one in case you don't have everything for everything else. This team will absolutely positively crush it. We're on attack, cooldown, and crit. If you watched my last video for the Tray 28, it's essentially the same team. So this team will work for 2 trays. Might work for more. A couple things here, though, just so you understand the gear. We are on attack. We're on survivability here. Here we're on a lot of attack, crit, attack, speed. Here we got attack and cooldown. Here we got survivability, cooldown, and here we got attack and more attack and attack speed. This thing will rip through it really, really fast. However, what I did want to give you and set you up for success was with another team as well, so that you have that. So we're going to go back here. We're going to go 3. Look at that. So now we're using the 3 recommended cookies plus Eternal Sugar Cookie as an opportune way to knock this down. Now, a couple things you could consider swapping out Eternal Sugar Cookie. Some ideas could be Hollyberry for survivability. Maybe you want to use Matcha. Maybe you want to use a different damage dealer in here. There's a lot of different things that you can try out. The core piece around this is really these 3, and then surviving with your healer with PV here. You may want to try the new bunny as well. We got gear guides like that. Great time to like and subscribe for that kind of stuff, and this as well. Something you can keep in mind there. Again, we're still focused on cooldown, attack, and the crit with Dream Conductor's Whistle. You could also consider some of those changes there for more survivability with your cookie team, okay? So I am not this loaded, by the way. I'm very much so taking use of our friendly special conditions here. But let's go ahead and talk about our gear. So here again, we saw before we're on attack speed. We could move over a little bit survivability if we needed to, but we'll stay there. Here we're on that cooldown and attack. Here we're on attack and we're on more attack. You may want to move to damage resist here for a little bit more survivability, but because I got by with this, I'm going to stay with this for now. And then here we're on attack, and then I moved over to more attack. You can also move over to damage resist, defense, those kinds of things. Both of those will give you a little bit more survivability with this team, but I'll show how I got through again. Cooldown, HP, damage resist, and so forth. If you got any questions though about that, please do let me know. And the Discord server is great. Lots of active players there. So thank you to everyone that participates. And I know many of you have been posting your beats as well in terms of the Decadent Choco Cake Tower. So, all right. Here we go. Let's run with this team. The biggest thing is as you're going through it, paying attention to the iterations, what's happening to your cookies and making those small tweaks. That's why I like to talk through a couple of these different things. You can see, look at that, just absolutely positively rips through on the damage. We're probably going to lose these 2 just like that. However, we're going to get that revival, and we're able to deal enough damage because all the stacks, everything else is already on there. And these 2 just hit like a truck. So that's all the background on the special conditions. When it comes to this particular boss, we have Black Sugar Golem. This boss receives reduced damage from non-crit attacks and receives a small percentage of non-electricity damage. So attacks using crit percent effects and electricity type cookies are very important. Take down the boss as quickly as possible before their powerful attack. We also have this solid black sugar here, ignores 90% of all incoming damage except electricity type damage, and receives 95% reduction for non-crit damage, unleashes a powerful attack 60 seconds after the battle starts, and it will wipe you. So that's one of the key things to pay attention to. We'll talk about that in a second. We got the other moves here. Recommended cookies, Stormbringer and Linzer. So one, getting lots of electricity type damage, crit damage with Stormbringer, plus amplifying it here with Linzer is certainly key. Now we do use Stormbringer. That's not what we see here. However, we'll talk about this in a second. Again, going back to the key pieces, crit, electric type, and survivability. Yes. So what does that mean? It means this. Not that. This. Let me get to it right here. And this is the team that we found to be successful to get by, and here is why. When you run Hollyberry, you are able to survive, boom, that 60-second hit. If you cannot take this boss down within 60 seconds, I have tried to go full-blown commando, just hit as fast as you can, aggro, whatever you want to call it. Not good enough. I've been close, very, very close with an all-electric team, but still not quite enough. So what I did is then I iterated, added a healer, and then I came to the conclusion of using the bunny. Yes, the bunny is awesome. Lots of great stuff. More crit damage, and additionally there are these amplify effects that can really help, and that all elemental crit stuff as well. So getting those pieces in, super, super exciting and really help. So that heal plus this surviving plus this team right here on the electric side is enough to get the job done. And what we're doing is we're running a lot of crit. We're taking advantage of the Stormbringer as the team lead plus the crystal jam here to really help elevate this particular cookie and the team, making a huge difference here to help you take down the black sugar golem. All right, so when we come back to it, what we're also doing is we're on Old Pilgrim Scroll. We're leveraging Grim Looking Sai or Electrifying Sai. Some players ask me if I don't have this, what can I use? So what you can use is this right here for 30% at crit. Grim Looking Sai, it is at level 12. This one's only at 7. And then on the other side, we're not going to change. We do have our watch as well to take advantage of. All right, very, very important. So we got the amplified effect. Also, kind of like Linzer here via our Black Lemonade to really help give us a boost on some of these other pieces. Makes a big difference as well for those electric type teams. All right, so gear, what are we on? We're actually on damage resist here. We got attack, steal damage, damage resist bypass. We could move over to HP damage resist. That's going to give us better survivability. You could try attack if you wanted to. We know that this is much better than this, so we're going to stay on this. Here we're on crit. We got electric damage. Electric damage is very important to Stormbringer. If you have questions on that, it's a great time to like and subscribe and check out that gear guide. Specifically, I break those things down. Essentially, electric can swap for damage resist bypass and a few other things. Very important. Black Lemonade, we're on attack. This could be better. I could definitely move off damage resist bypass, move into survivability with damage resist and HP defense, those kinds of things. Here on Twizzly, we're on crit. We got lots of electric damage. Same thing. We can move off a little bit off attack if we wanted to. And then here on the bunny, lots of attack and our infamous amplify toppings there. Now, some things that you could also consider between these two, you could actually move more towards crit and more towards attack or attack speed if you wanted to. That might give you an opportunity, even here on Stormbringer, going into attack and here into attack, to actually burn this thing down before it hits that 60-second mark. However, in this case, we don't have to worry about it because that's what we're running. So there you have it, the team, the breakdown, some of the nuances, the stuff that I've done, iterated off of in order to make this team successful between going all in, trying to survive with healing, and then trying to add that defense and getting that Hollyberry in there has been super, super helpful. All right, so we're going to go for the run here. Tray 30 it is. At that 2-minute mark, we're going to get absolutely slugged by Black Sugar Golem. And what you're going to see here is when we do connect on our crit, there is going to be a variability of these things here just due to the RNG of crit. So let's see how this goes. 10 seconds. And boom, there it is. So only hits half. I promise you, that is very good at knocking your entire team out. So if you saw the timer, you can see it here, 14, 15 seconds over that 60-second mark. Certainly not fast enough to clear it. However, we were able to survive and just take it down. Not to mention, right away, as we're going to give you not one, we're going to give you 2 teams. That's right, we're going to give you 2 teams to help complete this as well and talk through some of those dynamics. And here's how they begin. First, Cilantro Cobra cookie here. Receives a small percentage of non-fire damage, and attack by using fire type cookies is very, very important there. Here we have ignores 90% of all incoming damage except fire type damage. Now, these are your recommended cookies here down below. We're going to be 2 teams to kind of move around. The first one is this one. This one is more of a Burning Spice team. The idea really around this one is trying not to leverage all of those ancient legendary type cookies. Ideally here, you can swap that maybe for Fire Spirit if you do have that one, and keep our friend right there, Capsation or Pitaya cookie, right there for you. Giving you some alternative ideas. The idea is to get 2 major damage dealers here, amplify it with both Linzer and Bunny here, in order to take advantage of that using PV, because one of the reasons why you need PV is injury damage. Cilantro Cobra will do injury damage, which can be very, very painful. It's also got Vampiric Bite, so there's the injury right there as well. So you got to be careful of those pieces, because they can knock you out. If you want to worry about the injury or get rid of that, you're going to need something like Herb Cookie as another idea there for you. Okay, so this is one team we are leveraging Old Pilgrim Scroll, Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch, and Dream Conductor's Whistle to really stay focused on the attack. If you have a little bit more of a loaded team where you can take advantage of all these legendaries or ancients, this is another setup for you that does not use Linzer, but we do take advantage of this one right here in Nutmeg Tiger, which gives us a lot of additional area damage, boosting fire type cookies as well, which is really, really helpful from that perspective, and why you could use this one potentially. So let's go ahead and take a look at gear on the first one. First one, we're on attack. Here we got crit damage. We can move more towards fire elemental. This gives us some area of opportunity improvement. Here we got attack, fire damage, attack, crit, some survivability there. Here we're on speed and survivability. Here we're on cooldown and health, and then here we're on amplify and attack. And we do have all these gear guides available to you on the channel. And then for this team here, in terms of cooldown, and additionally survivability there, some fire damage, and then here we're on attack, fire damage, and more attack from those particular cookies. Okay, we'll run through it so you can see exactly how both these are going to work when it comes to Cilantro Cobra cookie. Now again, questions, comments along the way, do let me know, because I love to hear from you. All right, here we go. This battle will take a little bit more time, however we will be able to finish within time. Like I said, as you can see behind me here, you're getting lots of injury damage, so making sure that you have PV in there to really help you kind of stay in front of that, survive, makes a huge difference. The bunny is going to give you additional amplification and survivability capabilities, plus more heal in that double heal slot there, and helping excel this team with the additional elemental damage, kind of similar in a sense to what's going on with Suspect here from Linzer. All right, here we go, 1 minute left. And just like that, my friends, Cilantro Cobra cookie is done, and so is tray 31. M cursor here. The M cursor receives a small percentage of non-earth crit or non-earth damage attack by using earth type cookies. Now additionally here we do have the error message: gains a hit shield for using skills of a certain number of times, ignores 90% of all incoming damage except earth type damage. Recommended here are golden cheese and burnt cheese cookie. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the team that we're going to use to help us beat it, which is this one right here, our team 3. Here we are wholly focused on that earth type damage. Pretty awesome here with these 3 outside of golden cheese. We do have the awakened golden cheese, and then we're using PV as support, heal, those kinds of things. Couple things here on this particular team. If you're looking to figure out how to get more earth type cookies, you can go over here, click the earth, and see what is available from that perspective. You can click in drop them in. The nice thing here is you do have that Earth's protection debuff, defense, all that fun stuff, and some different stacking there with the protector of the Golden City, absorbs 65% of damage. The ally with the highest attack receives as well, which is going to be your golden cheese there. So those combinations make a good play here in your Earth elemental type, which is one of the reasons why you can and do want to use these particular cookies. Now, a couple things here. You can see at 80 here, I actually lost this one in a couple of runs. Here, what we can actually do is make smoked cheese a little bit better, and just showing this is how this can help. Just making these small adjustments and tweaks like that, I was able to get by on the 80 the first time. However, today we will move it to level 90. Same thing with burnt cheese. As you can see, we were at level 80. Now we're going to go to level 90, and we were able to complete this. So you can get by with those level 80s. However, just for smoother likelihood of getting by, we want to make that upgrade and get them to 90 here for us today. All right, so that's exactly how we have this set up. Like I said, we lost smoked cheese. You could flip in another Earth type cookie. Instead, I would recommend another damage dealer or something like that to help you kind of propel and continue down that space, because that is one of the things that smoked cheese is doing for this particular team, plus multiple hits for that M cursor when that does happen. Now, again, topping bonus effects don't matter, so the biscuits do. Your gear still does matter. Here we're on attack. We have HP cooldown, HP. You can move that down resist bypass. If you got that Earth type damage, you can put it here. Here's mozzarella. We did go ahead and get some more enhanced Earth type damage here. HP for some survivability, damage resist there as well. A little bit of crit. Again, area of opportunity here. Golden cheese, we are hyper focused on that Earth type damage. We got some good ones here. Damage resist bypass you don't really need. Flip that to attack or something else. Here we got cooldown survivability, and then here we got cooldown Earth type damage, crit resist, damage resist, attack speed. Again, giving this a little bit more of a buffing in terms of survivability might help, because like I said, this is one cookie that we lost in this run. So those are all the key aspects to think about in this team. We do have all the biscuits and gear guides here on the channel that you can check out, and it's always a great time to like and subscribe. So thank you. Let's go ahead now and put the Earth team to the test here against the M cursor, so you can see exactly how this team's going to operate and work. We're able to get by with that one healer with PV, which is really nice. We can get a lot of damage in just like that, as you saw. Lots of good Earth type enhancements there, crit damage up, those kinds of things. There is the multiple hits, really knocking down our team, stunning the team, but already halfway through here, which is working out pretty well. There we go, mozzarella, come on team, let's go, survive, survive, get that damage in. Look at that, we're so close, so close. Come on, PV. Oh, there we lost smoked cheese, but we were able to get by. Huge difference there. When we do upgrade those cookies to that level 90. And I wanted to show that because the other runs we got closer to 30 seconds. So making those key adjustments to your team can really propel you forward. A couple things about this Cake Wraith. Cake Wraith applies the damage buff to self and defense reduction debuff to enemies. Defeat the Cake Wraith as quickly as possible. This thing really packs a punch. You do need to get by. I've tried a couple of different teams, heal teams with one key damage dealer. We got the right blend here. We'll talk about that in a second. You got the Shred, you got the Laser of Darkness, you got the Flip Slam. It really can knock you out and pack a punch while surviving at the same time. And then here, Hollyberry Cookie and Rebel Cookie are both recommended. And those are two cookies we do leverage and use in our team right here. So what I was able to find is one key healer, the survivability, the damage reduction between Hollyberry and a little bit of extra protection there, and breaking down the Cake Wraith with Rebel Cookie. And then really two key damage dealers is going to be clutch for you. Able to use Firewind, Fire Spirit Cookie here, and the Eternal Sugar to really get enough damage through and take this thing down. Now, we're also heavily biased and loaded towards Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch, Old Pilgrim Scroll, and Dream Conductor's Whistle with cooldown, attack, and crit to really help us along our way. Now, once again, we got these top bonus effects. Let's go ahead and take a look at the gear. Interestingly enough, what we've done is we moved a few things around here for this team and survivability, in particular for Holly Berry and Rebel Cookie. We're actually on defense here. Lots of health, defense, and boost as well. That crit percent is something we could change. So giving you some ideas and some tweaks. Here we're also on defense. And then again on the Biscuit, we're also on defense and survivability here with damage resist HP. We could do even better on Rebel Cookie, to be honest. I was on attack. We had to move over here just for that survivability. Again, keeping that shield on the team does help on top of PVs and Holly Berry's kind of additional survivability pieces. Then what you do want to be on is you want to be on a lot of attack. Here we're on attack and attack speed. Here that's more survivability, so we're sticking to this one. Here we're on cooldown survivability with PV, and then on Fire Spirit here we got fire attack, attack, attack speed, and more attack. So you do want to burn this thing down fast, or whatever you're going to use to do damage, because what I found is the longer this match goes, the worse it's likely going to be, because this thing just keeps hitting harder and harder and harder, as it says, applies that damage buff to self and that defense reduction debuff to you. Now, some of the things to keep in mind is those things can change throughout, so there can be a little bit of RNG in terms of this match. So if you don't at first succeed, make sure to try again. All right, so here we go against the Cake Wraith. Let's knock this thing down here together and show you exactly how this is going to work. As you can see, we can get off to the gate really, really strong. And then here's that damage dealt up. It's going to keep going. You really want to take this thing down as fast as possible, like I said, before this becomes too much. And once it gets above that 5 slot, it really starts to hurt. As you can see, my team taking more and more damage there, just like that. However, we were able to get it down. So that 5, get it before that 5, and you're going to be a-okay, just like me. Stink Eye Tortuga applies stacking injury. So we absolutely positively need the recommended PV right behind me. Use cookies with a low hit count and protect your allies by using injury reduction effects. So again, 2 very, very key things here. We also have Captain Durian there, causes injury to the attacker. Here's each of the other moves for you to see quickly. So what team are we going to go with, my friends? Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about strategy. This is the one that we're using. We got good support here with PV for the injury reduction. We have additional healing, buffing, and damage resistance there when it comes to the bunny, plus leveraging Awakened Holly Berry in the front for that additional survivability for the team. Then we're focused on 2 key damage dealers here with Fire Spirit and Eternal Sugar. I think I do that every time now. Eternal Sugar. So ideally, if you're looking for swaps, a couple of areas to focus in on are going to be your attackers here. Maybe you want to use Burning Spice, maybe you want to use Wind Archer, maybe Creme Brulee as an example. And then over here, instead of Holly Berry, maybe you want to use another defense or charge type cookie and kind of move those pieces around. The double heal here can really help with that maintenance and run and maintain for your team here, so that you can really get through that level in this level and excel from that perspective. When it comes to those treasures here, we got that Dream Conductor's Whistle, Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch, and Old Pilgrim Scroll. Focus on that attack, crit, and cooldown for you. When we talk about our gear here, we are on Solid Almond. You could try attack if you wanted to. This one's really focused on survivability, pinning down the front. Here we got Eternal Sugar on attack, speed, and crit. And then PV here on cooldown, healing, damage resist for that survivability. Fire Spirit with attack there. And then last but not least, the buffing with the bunny. So there we have all that you need to know from our team perspective to absolutely tackle this thing. It's time for us to get into it here today so you can see exactly how this run is going to go. Here we go. Stink Eye Tortuga. And as you can see here, again, PV working to remove these stacks. We got 36 injuries, 37, 30. Whoa, so many on Eternal Sugar. That is why you want to have that low count, because you'll continue to get tons and tons of stacks like that. Again, leveraging the bunny here to really help balance out this team. And again, look at that, 150 stacks on Eternal Sugar as we continue to move through it. And here we go. Come on, team. And last but not least, boom, there we have it. 1:30 left with our success on Tray 34. All right, couple things here on the Truthless Recluse. This thing uses powerful attacks. It really does. Use healer cookies to protect your allies. Additionally, here we do have Blind to Truth. Becomes enraged when HP decreases, gaining increased attack, attack speed, damage resist, and an HP shield. After having sustained a certain number of regular attacks over a given period of time, the boss will inflict attack and attack speed debuffs regardless of the target's debuff immunity. One other call out here on that shield is if you do use Zap and Electric, it doesn't just go away, my friends, like some of the other stuff. So wanted to call that out. The recommendations here are Pure Vanilla and Cream Ferret. You do need Pure Vanilla to get that injury off, my friends. Very, very important here against the Truthless Recluse. All right, so let's go into the team that we're going to use here today. It's this one. This is the team that we're able to make it happen with. Our electric team, my friends. That's also one of the reasons why I said the electricity wasn't able to remove that zap. One of the things that I did here was try this one, a little bit too defense oriented, quite frankly, but what you can do or could do is swap something else maybe in for Hollyberry to get some more attack damage. So really running 3 attackers revolving around that elemental type and getting all the boosts with the bunny. And then additionally here we do have PV. What you make or want to try and do is throw in Cream Ferret there instead, in case you're wondering on some swaps for this one here today as well. What we've done is we've hyper focused in on attack and crit here, and then also cooldown and more crit. Cooldown and attack. So keep those things in mind when it does come to this team. It may have a little bit of an RNG because of that and that crit damage. However, we do have pretty high crit from that perspective for our team. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the gear here. We are on crit and electric type damage there. We got a little bit of survivability in this one. We got attack. This one's got damage resist bypass. We could move this to something else. Here we have crit, more electric damage. Here we got cooldown, survivability. And then here we got the buffing and more buffing via the attack. Okay. So very, very important there in terms of what this looks like for this particular team. Areas of opportunities there on some of those tweaks that you could use. And then we do have a level 5 crystal jam, and you could always increase that as well. All right, so there we go. Let's go into it here today against the Truthless Recluse and take this thing home and close down Tray 35 and complete it. I'm so excited. Now here we can get off to a really, really good start in some of this damage, but you see those pretty big heals that Truthless Recluse is going to do, and lots of times here you're going to see how close to getting wiped it actually happens or falls into play for our team. There you go again. Here is that electric shield or the HP shield. Not quickly able to remove it here with this team, but again, the electricity type zap stuff that you see here is not good enough to remove it. We've lost Stormbringer fairly early there, unfortunately. We'll see if we can pull through on this one here. Uh-oh, losing a little bit more. Oh no, I don't think it's going to be enough. So like I said, a little bit of RNG goes a long way. We can upgrade the Crystal Gem. However, we're going to give it a shot again. Now, we are on fully auto. A couple things that you can also do is click in when some of these things come up to hopefully cast just slightly faster and stay in front of some of these things with your team there. Could make a small difference. You never know. Come on, PV. There we are. And on top of that, our opponent here obviously has a spectrum of damage that they can do as well when it comes to this Truthless Recluse. We need to make sure that we can just stay a little bit more further in front of this. There we go. We got that one in. Now we're sitting pretty good. It's very, very close. There, we got it. With over a minute left there, my friends, we took down Tray 35. Yes. All right, that is Tray 35. Pretty awesome. And now we can conclude everything here for our fast-paced guide, all the way from 26 to 35 in the latest and greatest update here. With that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you still got a question, if you got a comment, certainly let me know, because we'd love to hear from you as always, and we'd love to see you in our amazing community and Discord server, my friends. With that, thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs. as we continue to grow such an amazing community. And thank you, as always, to all of our members. Memberships are available to you. They come with emotes, icons, a bunch of other cool things, and potential to get a lovely Bravers pack or some lovely coupons, as always. With that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We have those affiliate links and swag and merch as well. And thank you, and stay connected with our socials, at me, chat me. With that, my friends, onwards and upwards here in the Choco Cake Tower tray. And until next time, my friends, keep on running.